Good night and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. The Constitutional Court ordered new measures to protect and guarantee the fundamental rights of the racial community of San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina affected by damages caused by Hurricane Iota.
The Constitutional Court ordered the Presidency of the Republic as well as other entities to guarantee the fundamental rights of the racial community in San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina after the damages caused by the passage of Hurricane Iota through the islands, by issuing a series of provisional measures aimed at protecting the cultural integrity, decent housing, and health of the racial community while a decision on the merit is being made. This comes after last June 2nd, when the Review Chamber of Teleislas of the High Court issued a judicial decree in the framework of a tutela process. In this case, it ordered the adoption of the provisional measures in the framework of the injunction process filed by Josefina Huffington Archibald against the Presidency of the Republic and others to guarantee the fundamental rights of the racial community after the passage of Iota.
Last week, the Constitutional Court issued a favorable decree for the community of San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina. This community, together with the group of public actions of the University of Rosario, formulated a tutela against the actions taken after the passage of Hurricane Iota to ensure the protection of decent housing, dignified life, and health.
The judicial decree established as a first measure that the Ministry of Housing and the National Unit for Natural Disaster Risk Management identify each one of the houses of the archipelago that present problems of sewage discharge into the environment and that they be adapted. As a second measure, the decree management to send complete and detailed information on the progress of the reconstruction of the houses affected by the hurricane, as well as the progress in the reconstruction of hotels, restaurants, and commercial establishments. In addition, the court requested the Ministry of Culture to translate the order into Creole within 10 days.
A mother took the initiative to take her son to the police headquarters and request a test to confirm the police institution's version that the minor allegedly fired a gun. During confusion events where presumably there was an exchange of fire between a group of young people and some officers of the National Police.
No fue ni agredido ni física ni psicológicamente.
Pero me disparaste. No me disparaste.
Ay, usted me disparó, usted accionó un arma de fuego en contra mía. ¿Listo?
Muestra, dame la prueba. No, es que si a un policía lo van a matar, yo no creo que dejen ir a un niño así como hacia la calle.
Nibeli Solis Londoño is the mother of a 14-year-old minor who experienced yesterday what she calls a horrible situation with officials of the National Police who made an attempt on the life of 3 minors, including her son. The citizen in dialogue with Teleislas News referred to the alleged abuse of authority by the National Police when in areas near the sector where she lives, police officials shot at her son and 2 other companions and apparently mistreated one of them.
Escuché 3 o 4 disparos.
I heard 3 or 4 shots. Then I saw that many policemen arrived, so I left the place, just in case there was a stray bullet. So when I went to the house, I saw that the Goes and Sihin arrived at the park and captured a 14-year-old boy. They headbutt him, grabbed him by the neck, and punched him. The boy says that he was with my son.
Nibeli said that when the police arrived at her residence and asked for her son, she did not hesitate to let them in while asking what the child had done.
Entréguelo. Yo le decía, pero es que yo no sé qué me está hablando.
Hand him over, he said. And I said, but what did my son do? They told me that I was hiding him and I was with him. So I said, if you want to come in and look for him, do whatever you want. They came in without a warrant. They verified that my son was not in the house.
The National Police, after this news agency requested a statement on the matter, stated the following.
Del día 7 de junio del año en curso, mientras el cuadrante...
On the 7th of June of the current year, while the police were patrolling the Cantera sector, detonations were heard in the same sector. Immediately, we proceeded to act in defense of the life and integrity of the citizens and police, requesting support from the other military units to locate some young people identified by the same community. They enter and leave the police facilities in the company of their guardians without physical or psychological mistreatment.
This was the police version. However, what surprised the mother of one of the minors involved was the fact that she requested that her son be detained and that a ballistic test be performed to find out if her son had indeed fired a gun.
No fue ni agredido ni física ni psicológicamente.
Pero me disparaste. No me disparaste.
Ay, usted me disparó, usted accionó un arma de fuego en contra mía. ¿Listo?
Hazme la prueba. No, es que si a un policía lo van a matar, yo no creo que dejen ir a un niño así como hacia la calle. Yo le dije, venga acá. O sea, mi hijo...
I said, come here. You say that he just fired a gun at a policeman and you are going to let him go just like that? Go home. I told them no. I demand that they leave him here and do a ballistic test and tell me that my son did fire the gun, because that's not the way things are.
Nibeli Solis insists that she needs to know if her son grabbed and fired a gun. However, the institution did not agree to do the test.
Él quería que yo saliera de allí porque no le convenía.
They wanted me to get out of there because it was not convenient for them to continue with the process, because they knew that they were not going to prove that my son had fired a gun.
Today, the dialogues continue between the departmental government and the victims of coastal erosion, who at the end of the afternoon proposed a possible solution.
In the afternoon, the departmental government, the ombudsman, and the coastal erosion victims met again. After several hours of dialogue, they proposed a possible solution that will be defined next July.
They want to acquire the land side and the project that's going on to relocate them 7 families that have 20 years looking at them relocate them. It really is a good meeting. Really we feel good about what's going on today. And the compromisement that say that the 8th of July in 1 month, we would have to meet back again at the place with the Secretaría de Gobierno, Secretaría de Planeación, to evaluate if they advance in the project, well, them know and put the amount that the land costs.
Suzette Williams alludes that they hope that the agreed date can be defined in the solution proposed and that they hope to remain in the same sector.
Well, really and truly we command our agreement, but not with the interior government, with the Defensor del Pueblo. We give him till the 8th of July because then they look about if buy one piece of land right in the same section of 4 corner. If put it so, we believe in him, so we are wait for him until the 8th of July.
For his part, the Secretary of Government, Kayan Howard, alludes that they will present an addition to the Departmental Assembly in order to acquire a piece of land.
Logramos un gran avance ya que pues
We reached some agreements with the community. From the departmental government, we are going to look at the way to buy a lot adjacent to the project that is being developed by the Ecopetrol company. This in order to relocate the families that are missing, with the reason of not dispersing them to more distant lands. Then with the addition project that was presented in the assembly, in the item we will be projecting the budget to buy this lot.
The Planning Secretariat will take the necessary step to acquire more housing.
Todos desde planeación estamos haciendo entonces la gestión.
As the planning department, we are managing the acquisition of the houses. We have already talked to the donor, the governor, and the office, and they agreed to deliver these houses outside the framework of the initial agreement. The houses have already been managed and approved by the company.
The department received today the Savia Citizens Meeting, Environmental Knowledge and Innovation, a space designed by National School of Environmental Training Savia to promote innovatives that from environmental education contribute to the conservation of biodiversity in Colombia.
The National School of Environmental Training, Savia, of the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development is holding in the department the meeting of environmental knowledge and innovation, a venue for the promotion of socio-environmental dialogue and the strengthening of educational innovation processes.
Savia is the first National School of Environmental Training. It is a school that has been making presence in all the territories of Colombia. Here we come with the fear of knowledge and environmental innovation. We have been developing workshops in each region. We have an environmental manager in charge of disseminating all the environmental knowledge of the region. Now we come with this fair, which is an attempt to link the academia. For that purpose, there are 2 scenarios, academic and environmental fairs.
During this fair, students received training on environmental issues, as well as exhibited the projects they develop in their schools. schools.
We at the school have been working on a project called Little Farmer. The children sow and we sow with them plants that are native to our region, and they observe the process of growth. Since the institution also has different animals such as chickens, we have turtles and dogs, and we also make products to sell.
The Savia Environmental Knowledge and Innovation Fair will be held until tomorrow, June 9th, at the Sagrada Familia Educational Institution.
The Secretariat of Mobility of the department calls all drivers who to date have requested approval of the departmental license to national license to approach the Secretariat of Mobility and request the process of a duplicate or copy of the license. Likewise, the information is direct to drivers with expired license status to approach the Office of Mobility and request the process of renewal. And in other news, the virtual space created by the Public Employment Agency was opened in San Andres to connect companies with people who have been trained by SENA and who are looking for a job opportunity. In San Andres Regional Office, it will be carried out in person.
The objective of Expo Empleo Egresado SENA, which is a job fair for SENA's graduates, is to promote and contribute to the labor insertion of the entity's alumni, a fair that offers 20,000 vacancies in different sectors. This important initiative for decent and dignified work, led by the Public Employment Agency of SENA, will take place this June 9 and 10 through www.expoempleoegresadosena.com, and in our department it will be held at the offices of the entity in the Newball Avenue.
From SENA, we have a huge commitment regarding the employability of the country with our graduates. That is why between June 9 and 10th, we have organized the largest job fair for them. And I want to invite you all to join us during these days and get to know the more than 20,000 vacancies we have for graduates of our entity. We are looking for people with different occupational profiles in the administrative, service, and commercial areas, among others. So if you are looking for a job, you can go to the website of the Public Employment Agency and enter or update your data.
Among the profiles available in Expo Empleo Egresado SENA 2022 are chefs, bakers, drivers, gardeners, carpenters, nurses, administrative assistants, electricians, construction workers, technicians in refrigeration and air conditioning systems, telecommunications, diagnostic imaging technologists, occupational health and safety inspectors, occupational health analysts, pharmaceutical chemists, mechatronic engineers, among others.
Children and adolescents from different institutions of the department were linked to the agro-educational fair organized by the departmental government.
The educational institutions of the department linked to the agricultural program of the Secretariat of Agriculture and Fisheries took over the facilities of the farmers market to show the public the products from the crops grown by students.
La Secretaría de Agricultura y Pesca viene liderando.
The Secretariat of Agriculture and Fisheries has been leading the agricultural project since preschool, with the initiative that children from an early age begin to have love for agriculture in order to seek that generational relay. Here they come to show and socialize to the community what they have in their garden, what they are working on, and what are the native species that they are highlighting for family consumption.
The children were empowered by the space and showed the types of food that can be consumed with the products they grow in their institutions.
Nosotros estamos sembrando con nuestros niños. Nosotros manejamos.
We are planting with our children. We manage children from 2 to 4 years of age and 11 months old. We are doing a very beautiful job with them, planting cucumber, lettuce, chili pepper, bell pepper, paprika, and we have different seedlings that are growing, and the children are learning about this wonderful process. The products that come out of our gardens go to our students' homes. We want to motivate the families so that they can also consume food from our island, and above all, they are healthy foods.
11 educational institutions are part of the agricultural program of the departmental government, which seeks to rescue the productive traditions of the island's farms.
And now it's time for news of the municipality of Full Providence and Santa Catalina.
Good evening to all our viewers. This is the most relevant information from Old Providence and Catalina. Sena's sub-site has opened a call for several complementary courses in order to prepare and strengthen the knowledge of the community for the reopening of tourism in the municipality.
At its location on the streets or even coming to your house, Sena has been promoting several courses that are being offered in order to prepare the community for the reopening to tourism this month.
We normally have the subsede here in the island, and we're promoting the different courses, especially the course that have to be with atención al cliente, manipulación de alimentos. We have the fixed rooms, we have the work reception, and we have the manejo residuos sólidos, because we give an support for the reapertura económica. We know that the island will open, that we want to start receive the tourism, and it's necessary for we to have the people ready.
There will be 2 different schedules, and the minimum age for trainees is 14 years.
Manipulación de alimentos, everybody have to get that, who have restaurants and work in beverage, food and beverage. We have servicio al cliente for the people who attend to people and give service in hotel, in restaurant, in the business, in the almacén, supermercados. We have the one for habitaciones that allow you to spread bed.
For those interested, registrations will continue until Friday at 6 p.m.
And to inscribe them need the cedula, and who have the offer. And if they don't know if inscribe in a Sofia, we have a team at Sena that will help them inscribe. And we, in the strategy going by the 2 of them, we then inscribe direct also.
On the other hand, the construction of Sena's new headquarters is progressing satisfactorily and is expected to be completed by November 30th.
On the other hand, a mother who is a beneficiary of one of the galvanized houses asked for a review of her case since her house was being built without electro-welded mesh in the walls, which she perceives as poor quality work.
Ellen Chamorro asked Findeter to review the construction of her house because according to the consortium, it does not need electro-welded mesh, a style of construction that does not make her feel safe, since up to now, most of these houses have been built with this mesh.
I passed by and they have this, they put on this material, them say it's a microfiber material, a more lighter for the house, and I noticed that they have on the electro-soldado pan it, they put on the electro-soldado, so I stopped them. And I tell them, say, the house needs to go with the electro-soldado to keep up the cement.
According to the affected mother, it was explained to her that if she does not accept this technique, she could be the last one or stay without house.
Then come and talk to me and they explain me, say it's a lighter material, and that is the new model from the house them, what them were built. So all the house them falter for finish, well that will be the new style. So I tell her, say, I know they accept the house in that condition and with the material.
Some of the construction workers confirmed that various houses have already been made without the mesh.
Really, I know confident the house, and for me it's not anti-rocker. Number one, the posts them just set down in the dirt, pan a thin cement where them put on the bottom. Some of the houses not screwed down, majority of the houses not put cement to hold down the posts. And second, now they're coming with this new microfiber material, says a lighter. So for me and my family, if another hurricane come, I don't think we were insecure.
Teleislas News was able to contact the president of Findeter, who said that she would do an investigation on this case.
This is all the information we have for tonight for the section of Old Providence and Catalina. Continue in San Andres with more Teleislas News. Good night.
Thank you, Emilia. With news of the municipality, we reach to the end of our broadcast. See you tomorrow at 1 p.m. with more of Teleislas News. Good night.